The year was 1887. In a dimly lit room, young reporter Nellie Bly stood before her cracked mirror, practicing a terrifying, ghostly stare. Her mission was suicidal, feign madness to infiltrate the notorious Blackwells Island Asylum. She checked into a local boarding house and began her performance immediately. She refused to sleep, screaming loudly about unseen enemies and lost trunks that didn't exist. Her wide, unblinking eyes and erratic movements terrified the other residents, who huddled together in fear. Within hours, the police were called to drag her away. She had successfully baited the trap, but as the officers grabbed her arms, a cold fear gripped her heart. She had no idea if she would ever return from the dark place she was heading. Dragged into a cold, gritty police station, Nellie never broke character for a second. When stern officers demanded her name, she whispered that she was a princess from a faraway land who had completely lost her memory. She sat on a hard wooden bench all night long, staring blankly at the damp wall, refusing all food and water. The next morning, she faced a severe judge. She trembled with fake fear, speaking in strange riddles that confused everyone. The expert doctor examined her eyes closely and declared to the silent court, "This girl is positively demented." Society had just condemned a perfectly sane woman to a living nightmare based entirely on a performance she was terrified to stop. Before the island, she was sent to the insane ward at Bellevue Hospital. Here, Nellie witnessed the first shocking signs of cruelty. The nurses were aggressive and rude, dragging patients by their arms and shouting at them to be quiet instantly. Nellie saw women who were simply poor, sick, or confused being treated like dangerous animals. She sat beside a gentle woman who was crying softly over lost luggage, yet the doctors coldly labeled her hysterical. Nellie realized a terrifying truth in that moment. It was incredibly easy to get locked away. One wrong word, one moment of confusion, and your freedom was gone forever, replaced by the cold indifference of a system designed to crush the human spirit. The most dangerous test was facing the chief medical examiner, a man who had seen thousands of insane patients. Nellie knew she had to be subtle to fool him. Instead of screaming, she acted confused and lost, claiming she heard voices in the dead silence of the room. The doctor looked deep into her eyes, checked her pulse, and made his notes while Nellie held her breath. The tension in the room was suffocating. Finally, he looked up and delivered the verdict. She was a hopeless case. He ordered her to be sent to Blackwells Island immediately. Nellie felt a mix of triumph and terror. She had won the game, but now she was officially a prisoner. As the doctor signed the commitment papers, Nellie realized with a sudden chill that the trap had snapped shut. From this moment on, no one would listen to her, no matter how loudly she screamed the truth. On a foggy gray morning, Nellie was led to a steamboat along with other weeping women. This was the ferry to the madhouse, a one-way trip for many. As the boat cut through the cold waters of the East River, the silhouette of Blackwell's Island emerged from the thick mist. It looked like a stone fortress, cold, uninviting, and impossible to escape. The other women screamed and begged for mercy, but Nellie sat silently, clutching her shawl tight. She had succeeded in getting in, but looking at those high stone walls, a chilling thought crossed her mind. Getting in was the easy part. Escaping this fortress of madness might actually be impossible. As the boat docked against the rotting wooden pier, The smell of damp stone and misery filled the air. She took a deep breath and stepped onto the island, knowing her nightmare was just beginning.